and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to finish off a design team project with you, and this design team project is for Artzology, and I'm going to be using her simple junk journal kit, which I'll put the link down below. I just wanted you to show the kit first, and then I'll show you what I've done with it, and we'll finish off the journal in this video. I've done a lot of pre-prep, so just to save some time. But this is the kit. It's a really pretty romantic themed kit. I really loved it. I wanted to do something with it. I've kind of wanted to do a kind of romantic theme feel little journal, so I thought this was a good opportunity to do that. As mine tend to be just vintage or themed on another topic or something like that. So when I saw this kit in Artzology, I thought, yeah, this is something I'd like to work with. So in the kit we have there's some little tags, like bookmarks. We've got some little page tabs as well. We have these little kind of banner strips, ribbon strips, or whatever you call them. We've got these little tickets that run along those. We've got these little folders with tabs on. We've got this little envelope with a couple of ATC or journal cards that go with it. We've got some quite large tags. We've got these lovely corner pockets. There's 6 of those, comes with the kit. And then we've got this lovely envelope actually, which I'm probably not going to use in this kit, but I'll definitely use that for one of my pen pals. Then we've got these all the pages. I think there's about 5 spreads that come with the journal in total. These are just a few of them. For my journal kit, I printed them double-sided, so I could see, there was, rather than just having the white on the back, I printed them double-sided. And then also with those come these nice plain blank sheets as well, which could be used for all sorts of things. But some really pretty designs in there in the kit. So I'll show you how far I've got with my journal. The journal itself is based on Nick the Booksmith's Carpetbagger course. So I'm not going to obviously go through the whole process of making that, but I am going to finish it off. I'm going to decorate the front, the outer cover, and then we're going to put some of the Artzology kit inside onto the pages. I've done a little bit of embellishing on the pages already because I had to do some stitching before I stitched in the signature. So as I said, if you've seen the Nick's Carpetbagger journals, they're really nice. I've not made one. I bought the course months ago and haven't actually got around to doing it. So this is the soft cover journal with just one single signature. It's still got 80 pages, but it's just as one single signature inside. So on the inside I've used lovely, I think this is moonflower fabric, and on the outside I've actually recycled a old top. It was a blouse, so no longer fitted me, so I thought, oh, that would make a really nice pretty cover with the kind of broader ongley. So just so you know, when I chose the card for this journal, I chose a piece of card that actually was white on the one side. This is the card actually. It's just craft on one side and then it's white on the other, so that when I stuck the border ongley, the white, you see the white coming through rather than the sort of dark card. So that was one thing just of note. For the closure, I've put a couple of holes in there, punched some holes, put some brads in there, and then just used bias binding, which is coffee stained, as the closure. So inside we've put some lace trim on the inside edges there, and then it's just an assortment of pages, including some of the Artzology kits. Obviously I think there's about 3 or 4 of the pages in the journal. So there's one of those. Then it's some tea-dyed paper, coffee-dyed paper with some, I just laid on top, as the paper was drying, I laid on top a doily, so it made this lovely effect. some vintage book pages, of course. I've stitched some collaging onto the page before I stitched in the signature. This is a beautiful, out of a lovely antique comic book, actually. I just wonder if I can quickly grab it, show you. One of my acquisitions in France. And now I don't think I can find it. Where is it? No. Sorry, I'm back. Looked for it, but couldn't find it. I don't know why I put that. Anyway, lovely comic, vintage comic type book. Then we've got some vintage ledger paper out of this lovely old 1940 ledger book that I found in a brocante in France, which some lovely pages in there to be using in my journals. Then we used one of the, if you remember, their little ribbon tags that came with the kit. I just want to show you what I've done with the kit. So these are the ribbon tags here, and what I've done is just folded I've done it with a few. I've just folded the top over, distressed the edges, and then with this one I've actually stitched it on top of the page to create a little tab at the top, and then this acts as quite a good tuck spot if you wanted to tuck something under there. So we're going to add a couple more of those into the journal. Some more vintage book pages, one of the kit pages. I've done a couple of these in the book. There's just little collages, little mini collages, just layers of paper and fabric, and coffee tide. Another one of the kit pages that I've stitched on some ribbon to the edging there, and I've fixed on one of the little tabs, if you remember the tabs that come with the kit. So there's one on this page, and I've put a couple more throughout the book as well. There's one here on that page as well. There's another one further on. There's some Edith Holden pages. We've got another bit of a collage there with some music paper and some spots of wax. We did Holden page, another one of the Artzology kit pages, another one of the pages, book page. Here's the other part that you can see that book was very long and thin, so the page is too long for the book, so I've just folded it over, stitched the edges, and attached some lace to the edge as well, which just pops out the side, and that's formed a little pocket. And then a little bit more collaging there, just stitched a bit of that. You'll see this being used on the cover, so I kind of wanted to tie in a little bit in the inside. And there's the final Artzology page, and another one of those tabs. That's the last tab. So there's 3 of those tabs on the edge, and then that's it. So that's the journal as it stands right now, and as I said, I'm going to now complete the cover. So let's find the middle, open it out. Let's make sure we have the bottom along the bottom here. Okay, so what I did, if you've watched any of Nick's courses, for this one particular, we kind of map out what we want to do before we go and commit ourselves to gluing everything on. So I've done all that already and decided what I wanted to put on. So I'm going to show you all the elements that I've created to put on the cover. So this is the first bit, which is a strip. Started off with a strip of tea-dyed piece of cotton. So it's just some muslin which has been tea-dyed, and I cut a strip of it. I frayed one of the edges, which took me ages, but I frayed one of the edges, and on the other edge I have stitched a piece of lace. So you can see that there's a piece of lace been stitched all the way along the bottom, and then the top edge is left just frayed. Then on top of that I used some of this, it's florist ribbon, a Hessian jute ribbon, which is already comes frayed. So I used a strip of that to put onto the top, and then I wanted to bring in the white of the cover, so I actually used some white ribbon, not tea-dyed, some nice white ribbon, then I stitched along the top. So I stitched all of that together, so that's all stitched. There's no glue in here at all, it's all stitched together. So that is going to sit along the bottom, and I'm going to line up the bottom of the fabric with the bottom of the cover like that one before I stick it down, and then that means that the lace will just hang over the edge a little bit like that, and that'll sit below the eyelets there. So that's the bottom of the decoration. And then on the front cover, I'm going to leave the back cover as it is, and then the front cover, I've got a little piece of cheesecloth here, which again I have frayed all the edges. So I'm going to put that on the front there. And then I've taken a Tim Holtz journal card or ATC card that comes with in the packs. You just cut them out. I've rounded the edges, I've inked the edges, I've stitched a little bit of sari silk ribbon and a little bit of Hessian. Again, it's kind of a florist ribbon across the bottom. And then I've fixed on also a Tim Holtz book plate onto the front as well with the word reflect in there, and I'm going to put that on top of the cheesecloth so that just the fringe sticks out of the edge there. And then just to finish off the bottom here, I've created another one of those mini collages. So again, I've layered bits of paper and scrapbook paper, and we've added a little heart on here, and we've also added a little vintage pin on there as well. I think I'm just going to, I forgot to do this earlier, so I think I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. There's an edge here which I just fancy a bit of, just wanted to add a bit of that. There we go. So that I am going to adhere just kind of off center a little bit on the front cover there, and then on the right hand side here, as per Nick's carpetbagger, always has buttons usually, so we're going to have 3 buttons here. I think I'll have them like that, so the dark buttons are sitting on the light ribbon, and then the white button is sitting off the white ribbon, so we're going to have them something like that. Okay, so let's start and stick all of that down now. So let's start with the fabric here. So I'm using Fabrifix, which is my favourite glue, and I kind of use it for everything because it's just so good. I like this little bit of collaging because it just kind of adds a bit of sort of 3-dimensional effect. I like that. Make sure that is really firmly stuck down. There we go. And then we add our buttons on here. Now for the buttons, Fabrifix probably would be okay, but I do prefer to use something a little stronger. I'm going to attach, you know, hard embellishments like this. So I use E6000, and I have these lollipop sticks, and it's really strong stuff. You don't need a lot of it. So I just literally take a little bit on there. I'll put some on the back of the button, and you really don't need, very much, and it dries pretty quick as well. So I'm just going to stick that down. So that is the front cover finished. So I'm just going to set this aside just to make sure that it all dries and sets nicely. So let's put that over there. And then I'm going to show you what I have done with the Artzology kit in terms of preparing it for my journal. So if you remember these lovely corner pockets, what I've done is I've obviously cut them out, and all I've done is ink the edges. So I cut them out, scored the fold lines, folded those inwards, and then inked the edges, and obviously we'll just glue those into the book. And I've not used all 6 for the book because it's only one signature. I've just selected 4 that I liked. I've got two left-hand ones and 2 right-hand ones, so we've got those to add into the journal. And then if you remember, we had these. You can see I've already used these on the edge of the pages, and we've got these lovely little kind of bookmark. So I've taken 2 of those and I've attached them to some coffee stained card and just punched a couple of holes, and I'm just gonna probably add some ribbon into those as well, so they'll go in the journal as well. And then if you remember, we had these, as I said, these little ribbon ends here, and these tickets. What I did for these tickets is I cut them all out, and I just cut the middle bit here, and kept these 2 joined here, and just cut those out. And then what I did is I folded them over, so this one is not cut. I folded it over and I inserted a paper clip, so that's stuck, and then stuck it together, so the paper clip stuck inside. So there's 2 of those clips which we'll use on one, and then one's for the right hand side and one's for the left hand side, so we'll use those. And then you remember these sort of giant tags, so I've just taken one of those for the journal, and I have attached it to some craft card. So this is quite a stiff, really nice stiff journal, like them on a firm card. Again, ink the edges and punch a little hole and add some ribbon in there. Then also with the kit is this cute little envelope with a couple of ATC cards. So what I've done, again, I've just cut out the envelope, inked all around the edges, and we've put one of the ATC cards inside, and I just curved. I like my journal cards with the curved edges, so I did that. I adhered it again onto some thicker stock. I print on about a 200 GSM card on my printer. It doesn't really like anything heavier than that. So I tend to like a heavier weight cards for my journal, so I always tend to back it onto something stiffer, which I've tea-dyed or something like that. So that's one of those I'm going to put in the envelope. I'm going to put that in the journal. I obviously edge the inside as well. And then the other card here, I took one of the little tabs and attached it to the top, folded it over and attached it to the top. Again, cornered the edges and inked it up. So that's that. And then finally, we had these lovely little tabbed folders as well. So I've included those. And what I do with these is I've again adhered some tea-dyed paper to the inside. So again, using the Fabric Fix glue, inked all around the edges, and I'll at least keep 1 or 2 of those in the journal as well. So that's what I've done to prepare for the thing. Oh yes, I've just prepared 2 more of these little ribbon strips. Again, folded the top edge over, inked around, and I'm going to add those to a couple of the pages on the top. In addition, I'm going to add some of these ATC cards to the journal. These are actually from the old design shop. Really like these. I just thought they really went with this particular theme, kind of quite flowery, romantic, but botanical. So those sort of went really nicely with this kit. So I'm going to use those as well. So let's go ahead and grab our journal. I think everything is fixed. Yeah, everything seems to be nicely firm. Okay, so let's start with the pockets. I think we'll put those pockets in. So let's find a suitable page. I think we'll start with one quite early on and put this over here. I'm gonna use this one, I think. So I'm gonna stick that onto the corner there. That's gonna go nicely there. I don't go right to the edge, I just literally leave a little tiny gap rather than just sticking it right to the edge. Okay. Right, so let's put another one in this half of the journal on the right hand side. So that's the pockets in. Then I think we'll stick in the little tab, ribbon tab thingamajigs. There's one, and there's two. Okay, so what I think I'll do here is we stitch the first one in kind of almost in the middle of this signature. So I think I'll go in a little bit and maybe on this, stick one kind of quite far into the center. We'll take this one. Yeah, that'll do. And then what I'm going to do is glue all of the folded edge and then kind of the same amount on the other side. We just have to be exact. Like that. And then we are going to place this over the edge. What if I do it this way? Edge of the page, and obviously leave some of the tab protruding about the same as the other one, and we'll stick that down. Press that down. Okay. Again, I could have stitched these in before. I actually just did the one and then realised that I really liked it, so I wanted to include a couple more, so that's why I'm just gluing these in. Otherwise I probably, to be honest, would have stitched these in as well. But you can glue them in too. And I mean, you can do anything you like with these ribbon tags, obviously. This is just something I decided to do with them. So that we've got that one. So I'm just going to eye it up and say, okay, we want another one sort of on the outer edge and towards the back. That's that in. So what have we got now? So, yes. So we've got this little envelope. There's the envelope. Remember the envelope? We had the envelope with the little ATC card in there, and we did these two clips. So I think we're going to find a page in this half of the book to put this in. So I think we'll take this one, I think. What I'm going to do with this is just put the envelope flap over the edge of the page like that, so that you can see the flap of the envelope on the other side, and then put it in the middle, and then use the clip to hold it in place like that. And you can always put something underneath there if you want as well. It also gives you a little bit of a clip to stick something else in. And then you remember we have another one of these, so I was going to add something to the left hand page. So let's go to the second half of the book and see where we can add something. Yeah, we'll put something here, I think. There or there. No, I think here. Yeah, here. Let's see. I think I would like to have one of these little folders, so that we can have this protruding out the bottom here. We can have the little tab just sticking out again side, and use one of the ticket clips to hold it in place. Okay, so we put that in there. Okay, so what have we got left? We have the bookmarks and the giant tag. and we have the ATC cards, and we have another one of these folders, and we have this little journal card. So I think we're just going to go ahead and just tuck those in. I think I'd quite like to have this maybe in here. I'm going to tuck that in there, and then I think we'll just put something in the pockets that we're stuck in. I'm going to put one of the tags. I want to add some ribbon, so bear with me, I'll be right back. I'm just going to cut some strips of ribbon. Okay, I'm back with some sari silk ribbon. So let's take this one and just add it to this large tag. So I'm just going to feed the folded end through, loop that in like that. That's that one, and then these two. I'm keeping with the sari silk because again I wanted this kind of like a pretty romantic theme, and I just think the sari silk is so pretty and delicate. It kind of goes with this theme nicely. I've got this lovely sort of pale creamy yellow, which just happens to go really well with the designs of this kit as well. Sometimes it all just works, sometimes it doesn't. But most of the time, I think when you like a particular style and type of thing, you find that most things go with most things. So in here, I think we'll put one of these little bookmarks in here, together with a couple of the ATC cards, I think. What I like about these pockets is because they have the flap, they do hold quite a lot. So that's one pocket. And what else do we have? Flicking through. Oh, let's put one of the ATC cards in this little tuck spot here. And then what else? I've got a little pocket here. We could add, oh no, that's the same, same design. So let's add another one of those bookmarks, another couple of those ATC cards in here. And I did have something else. This is it's just a printable digiprint. It's a letter that I printed out onto tracing paper, and I think I'm going to scrunch it up, excuse me for the sound, just to make it a little bit older. It's not tea dyed. Oh, it just ripped it, which actually improves it, I think. So we'll just fold it back up. Oh, listen to that lovely crunchiness. That's another little bit of ephemera. I'll just pop in to that pocket. And then I think we'll actually, I'm going to move those over to one of the left-hand side pockets and just leave the other two pockets empty, because obviously people want to put their stuff in to pockets as well. So let's just keep those in there. And then we've got a couple of more of those tuck spot tabs, haven't we? So let's find those. We've got one here, so we'll stick one of those ATC cards in here. And oops. We've got the clip, the other side of that clip here, so I think I might add my tag on here and have the little ribbon sticking out the top. Yeah, let's do that. And then we've got one more of those tags there. You can stick this in here. Text spot there. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we've got a few more left. We could pop those in somewhere. I'm just going to add one just underneath there with the envelope. There. We do have another one of these, which You could make another clip and add it in. I'm going to just check the thickness of this. It's quite thick. We could get away with another one of these. Could even add it to this pocket as well, because I've got a lot. There we go. We could add that to the pocket. I've got nice collection of stuff in there. A couple of ATC cards, a folder and a tag in there. So there we go. There is our carpetbagger journal using quite a lot of the Artzology simple journal kit. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.